Hey guys, Crypto Sunday, and it's another slightly green week. Not too much of a huge move, but 3,000 in the green, sort of slowing up ahead of the FOMC US interest rate hike. Wondering whether we're going to get sort of a bit of a drop on a hawkish Fed update. Kind of ready for it, but not wanting to sell or anything. Kind of hoping for a bit of a drop so that I can buy some of these altcoins that sort of I didn't buy the dip on. Still sitting with a fair bit of cash on the side. So we'll see what happens. Not a huge amount of news happened this week, but sort of picked out a few bits and pieces. White House sort of infighting with Congress, which was interesting over crypto. I think sort of they're taking or trying to find out who needs to take a little bit of heat really for public sort of losing money in FTX and sort of some of the others, Celsius and Voyager and that sort of thing. The sort of regulators have been coming down on very small projects that haven't gone bust, but they're saying are securities, and then sort of big, players like FTX and Celsius out in the open. They've basically let people lose a fortune. So, I mean, they're saying FTX was worth 32 billion. That's not really what people have lost. I think they're saying it's probably more like $10 billion, but it's $10 billion and it was a very, very public company. And they're sort of saying if there'd been a US ETF, a lot of people who sort of bought on FTX would have probably bought that ETF, and it could have been from Fidelity or sort of one of the big players, and it would have been all insured and done properly. So lack of regulation has sort of caused people to lose money, and you could sort of they may have a sort of knee-jerk reaction to this and sort of clamp down on everything, but at the moment it does appear there's sort of a bit of infighting saying that they should have done something before. So yeah, that was interesting to see where this goes. I love the media are still making huge deals about things. You had last week the Bitslato exchange. Now you see the Fed delivering a devastating surprise blow after the Bitcoin price surge. You think, oh, what's going on? And they say the Federal Reserve has delivered a shattering blow to the crypto industry by rejecting Custodia Bank's application to become a member of the Fed system. Not heard of Custodia Bank before, but not quite sure how that's a shattering blow. I think sort of after the Silvergate Bank issues with FTX, wouldn't have really saw an application to become part of the Fed system. Sort of, I don't think anybody would get accepted, to be honest. So it seems a little bit strange to call this devastating and a shattering blow and that sort of thing. I think it's just good for headlines. A Wyoming-based Custodia Bank's novel business model and focus on crypto assets presented a significant safety and soundness risk, the Federal Reserve Board said. So they've got to say something, I guess. This kind of just feels like where they keep denying spot ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs over and over again, and they'll sort of cite, manipulation and sort of dodgy price activity, basically, and sort of they delay them and delay them. But yeah, devastating surprise Bitcoin blow. Not really. This one's kind of funny but not funny, I guess. The US, with their rising interest rates, are potentially now looking at $1.5 trillion per year in debt interest. So that is, at the moment, 3 times the Bitcoin market cap. So they're just sort of putting it into perspective, basically, that the Fed are going to struggle with sort of keeping their rate rises or going. I think it's sort of fairly accepted that they're not going to go much further, but they are saying keep high for longer. I think the dot plot they were saying is sort of over 4.5%, sort of 4.5 to 5% all of this year, and sort of 4% next year. I think 4% all of next year, and yeah, this is going to lead to a massive, massive deficit, partly just because of interest payments. So $31 trillion of debt, sort of at a hefty rate, yes, is going to be 1.5 trillion in debt interest potentially. So, not saying they're going to cut straight away, but there's potential that this could cause sort of significant issues. They've already got a bit of an event having to raise the debt ceiling again. They sort of have this pretend ceiling basically on the maximum amount of debt that they're allowed, and they just keep raising the ceiling every time, but sometimes it leads to quite an argument. And I think sort of either last time or the time before, they had to sort of shut down the government over not being able to agree it. And some people see it as a sort of a bit of a pantomime that they all agree on it anyway. They're just doing this to sort of make a show. But yeah, we'll see what happens this time, see whether this debt interest sort of causes a major issue. And now you start getting sort of rises in the crypto market. If only sort of the last month, we're back to this sort of big pumps on a listing on Coinbase. Haven't really checked whether it happens sort of similarly for a Binance listing, which you would think would be more impactful with them being 80% of the market. Coinbase are sort of 5, I think. But yeah, getting listed on Coinbase is sort of a seal of approval. So Threshold, Axelar have both been listed, but also one of mine, Audius. So that's had quite a positive move for them for the week. So I don't think they're on quite yet. They're saying they're expanding their tradable assets. So these should go live at some point. And as you can see, sort of things do rather rocket up. I think they've added it to their roadmap. So it intends to support them in the not so distant future. But until the formal listing is announced, transfers and trades of these assets are not yet supported. So an announcement on them being listed at some point is enough to cause a pump. So yeah, whether this is sort of bull trap issues and we're now going to have another downturn, I don't know, but we do seem to be in sort of bull territory at the moment. So yeah, not much news for the week really. Just looking at the coins. So Bitcoin up 1.3%, not too big a move. Ethereum down 2.3%. Solana down. I should really reorder these because Solana is above Cardano now. Solana down 4.2%. Cardano up 1.6%. Chainlink had quite a good week, 6.3% up. Gala token has overtaken. I've sort of seen a bit of a up and down with them at the moment. I think they deleted their tweet announcing a partnership with The Rock. So don't know if there's any sort of dodginess going with that. Maybe he hasn't sort of backed out or something. But yeah, Gala is up 15% for the week. Polygon up 15.5%. So I haven't sold Polygon. Kind of just thinking if we get a drop, I may just buy back some of my previous coins like Internet Computer just with cash rather than selling Polygon. But who knows? I might suddenly sell it during the week. Not exactly wedded to it. And then we have Audius, which again I haven't reordered, but is up 60% on basically just the back of this Coinbase listing, I think. So yeah, that's rocketed up. XRP 1.5%. I was kind of tempted, considering XRP has sort of not really risen all that much this year. Maybe to just buy a little now in case we don't have a bit of a pullback. Just sort of betting on the case a little bit on the lawsuit. But yeah, I haven't yet. Quant up 5.8%, not too bad. I should sort of, it's one of the only ones that is up in the last year, which is pretty crazy, really. Basic attention token 8.7%, green, and Power Ledger 7.4%. So yeah, some decent moves on the smaller altcoins, and yeah, sort of Audius, Gala sort of in particular, but then Polygon doing quite well in the larger stuff. So not too much. Waiting for the big crash after Wednesday. It might not come, but yeah, we'll see what the FOMC, what the Fed do, and go from there. So leave your thoughts in comments below, and like and subscribe. See you soon.